A tale of T-sides, our very first map of the quarterfinals. We venture to the Spodek, and a fantastic turnout from everyone here. International attendance at an all-time high, and you can feel that everyone is hot in anticipation for more. Yes, the tale of T-sides, it was indeed 10 rounds for both sides, or more, of course, Na'Vi clinching it with the 11th, and my goodness, it is going to be an honor to talk about it with Sponge and Pimp back on the desk. Guys, first things first, Flamey, with some flaming hot Cheetos play.
Yeah, the aces in back-to-back pistol rounds is insane, right? The fact that he was able to do that built the platform for Na'Vi to be able to win this. He won both pistol rounds, and then they went and converted the following, which is 4 rounds in the bag, right? That's a big haul just off the back of Flamey. So fantastic stuff to him. But when we were on that T side, Zeus, I think he made some really good calls, and he actually made some really, really good plays. That round 22, I think that was the swing round there where, look, they all died, but they were able to get the round on the board. It forced FaZe into a really awkward position. I think that was the one that really broke the camel's back, but I actually think they could have more rounds, Alex. I think Na'Vi could have won this a lot more convincingly. And
you were saying the same, Jacob, and I think you've loaded a reason perhaps we can to show where those rounds could have come from.
Yeah, because FaZe were doing a good job, especially on the T side, playing from behind. This is round 9, where we can just start out the clip. Na'Vi actually gets a good starter into the round. They get 2 kills towards the banana area. First, Nico goes down, and in a second, Olafmeister will go down in a smoke as well. So you're in a 5 versus 3 situation now, a very favorable situation for Na'Vi. Now, for some reason, Na'Vi decides to play it and jeopardize it a little bit. Flamey is being boosted up towards banana. Zeus is making the rotation from the B bomb side into CT spawn. That happening while you still have Na'Vi having full control over middle. Both Simple and Edward is watching. So in theory, this rotation coming in from Zeus, it's pointless. There's no need for them to do that, especially considering the utility level you have towards the Na'Vi guys. You would assume 3 versus 3 on this on A bomb side should be enough, considering all the utility. Unfortunately for Na'Vi, they decide to do this. Flamey stays in this position, and he will go down to Guardian in a second, again leaving Zeus alone, forcing Simple into a rotation towards CT spawn. Now Zeus is left all by himself in this B bomb side, and that is not a good thing for him, right? It's going to be tough for him to defend it. Simple is coming in as the backup, Smokes comes in, Molotovs comes in, Zeus is being forced out of his position by the Molotov, jumps in towards first, and for some reason Simple decides to go through the smoke right here. He goes down, in a second Zeus goes down, and well, in theory, there should be no chance that Na'Vi is losing this round. Had Flamey just fall back, had they played the sides and played with the utility they had, there would have been no doubt that this was a round in favor of Na'Vi. That said, though, they're making a small mistakes here and there, and they should iron them out if they want to win convincingly against a FaZe team that individually is stepping up right now. And that's the individuals that we were asking for in that pre-match. Rain has arrived, thank goodness, albeit a stubborn Rain. I didn't realize he was also in the anti-org club. Yeah, so I did a little bit of digging on the org stats for the side of FaZe Clan, right? I compared them with Renegades and NIP, both teams who are in the champion stage, who played 8 maps within the legend stage, so all 3 of them. When you look at the guys from FaZe, 5% of their total kills have come from the org, whereas the side of NIP, it's roughly 20%, and Renegades have really embraced it. Roughly 30% of their entire kills have come from it. So how much was FaZe? 5? Roughly 5%. My goodness. So, look, Simple actually did an interview where he said, it's an update, everybody gets to play the same update, so FaZe are just being stubborn in approaching it, because I know that somebody like Yanko knows it's a good idea to get that org on board. Yeah, absolutely, and I mean, perhaps, when we talk about these players, we talk about their infamy and how long they've done it. Perhaps it is stubbornness, but also, this change is scary. When you've had how many thousands of hours with the M4? You okay? Yeah, sorry. We're just breaking the set. People have set like bear traps behind It's pretty good back here. Yeah. It is lovely. Hopefully there's less traps and less tribulations over with Frankie. She's over backstage hunting for players.
Yanko, I've got to ask you about that map pick. Inferno is such an unusual choice.
Yeah, I think we just had a plan coming into it. When we look at, we feel like we can play a lot of maps, and for Na'Vi we felt like Train is their strongest map, so we don't need to play it. And for us, for Inferno, it's also something that we felt like we could exploit, and I think it has shown, especially on the T side, but unfortunately we couldn't close it out in the second half when they made a good comeback. But someone can tell Flamey to relax a little bit, acing in both pistol rounds. Winning 1 pistol round, I think, would have made the game super easy for us, but it just wasn't meant to be this time.
You do have to applaud that boy. 2 pistol round ace is absolutely insane. But I want to talk about your T side, because it was such a strong performance, way stronger than when we last saw you in Inferno against Renegades.
Yeah, I think, you know, in that game, we lost control of the money very early on. We won the pistol, but lost the second round. And Inferno is very, you know, you need a lot of utility on that map, so that made it a bit hard for us to play in the beginning. We adjusted towards the end, but couldn't close it out. So we looked at some of the things we did wrong in the Renegades game and just worked on it in this break, and felt like we were well prepared to pick Inferno against Na'Vi.
Well, I have to say, it was a lot calmer of a performance than we've seen from the FaZe boys in the Legend stage. So go and get ready for Mirage, and good luck to the guys. Thank you so much for talking to me, Janko. Let's head back to the desk.
Yes, indeed. Not good enough, though. Na'Vi 1-0 up in this quarterfinal, and now a reverse sweep necessary from FaZe Clan. That, of course, was Inferno, and now Na'Vi's pick up next. We're heading to Mirage.
Mirage, Mid, and Mayhem have become synonymous with one another. Whether you want to take it clean and tactically or scrimmy with speed, Mid features in every round of Mirage. The standard Mid routine is used to force the defenders back and set up the potential for splits using connector, window, and short. Responding with aggression, the counter-terrorists can push back, aided by grenades of their own. More often than not, it ends in a bloodbath, with a huge investment of players and utility being launched back and forth. Elsewhere, wide bomb sites surrounded by tight choke points make for a map in which individual plays can turn the tide of play. Eyes to the sky on the CT side, utility rains down from the sky before an inevitable hit. When the smoke clears, battle continues in plain sight.
Two quick things we want to point out here on Mirage. So the T side of FaZe Clan, when they throw the window smoke and a deeper cat smoke to allow them to push up and go quickly into short. If they throw these smokes, they're going mid. There was only one time in the 3 demos I watched recently where they didn't use it. Secondly, the CT side, we've already talked about this. Zeus is the anchor over towards B. They've bolstered him over with Flamey, who's now playing towards this side as well. Edward has been moved over to connector towards the A-bomb site, and you have Electronic playing retake a ticket 95% of the time. That leaves Simple in window where he can roam around and help everybody out, and this B-bomb site is going to be a point of contention because we've seen Liquid trying to abuse it against Na'Vi. I think FaZe will do the same.
And it doesn't always work out. And I think that's something that's so interesting. Just a quick point on it then, Jacob. How does Na'Vi know that they're going to have their site tackled, and yet sometimes a bit hot and cold and successfully defending it?
I mean, I think Zeus have shown time and time again in this tournament that he knows how to deal with it. He's very good at staying alive. He's very good at using his utility on that B-bomb side. Adding into that, you have Flamey currently having maybe the tournament of his life. You know, he's a very good individual, so he can help him out and bail him out. So in that regard, we did see Liquid try to punish him on that B-bomb side, but Zeus was simply too good at it.
And I'm sure we're going to be seeing more org play as well. I mean, Electronic on that CT position you outlined there, it does get deadly when Electronic's aim is combined with that weapon.
Yeah, it's, you know, a safe pair of hands. It's not the best player in the team, but it's the second best, and he can deal with that time and time again. It's not somebody like Edward or Zeus who'll be pressured out of position. Electronic will play that. He'll get 1 or 2 kills, and that's going to be looking good for Na'Vi again, I think, Alex.
Looking good for Na'Vi, bad for FaZe Clan. 14 out of 14 times, yes, Olof has attended this stage of the major. Guardian has had this trophy elude him time after time, and now Na'Vi. His old team, the jersey he used to bear, now have the opportunity to take an opportunity away from him. FaZe versus Na'Vi, Guardian versus Na'Vi. They need 2, and it starts here on Mirage. Henry, Sadakist, it's back to you.
Thank you so much, Alex. It is, and we are back, and we are ready, Henry.
We certainly are. Na'Vi kicking things off on the T side here. Already picked up FaZe map pick of Inferno, but it's Mirage. It's still wide open here. No reason why FaZe can't battle back and take us to Dust 2. It's a very slow approach to kick things off here. Simple towards the underpass. He confirms the connector is clear as his teammates get ready for a potential B split here. We talked about that. As Olof Meister will be smoked out for now, but that's going to just hold off the T's for at least 10 seconds as Flamey gets headshot, down to 4 HP.
Behind the smoke, Olof needs to be careful at this point in time to make sure he doesn't overstep the mark and doesn't get caught off. Easy to do so in that position, certainly with the smoke down, it's menacing. Reveals the other side, Olof finds it, steps out, Flamey gone. Just to note, Flamey's gone.
Yeah, no ace this time it seems, as Edward will try and bring the frag back in their favor. It's a 4 versus 2 now with Zeus and Electronic to pick up the pieces, but Zeus completely removed from the equation there, and now it's just Electronic trying to find anything he can at this point. 3 versus 1, 15 HP. That damage alone should confirm things, and Nico with a decent backstab there as we FaZe picking up that first pistol of the series so far. Like you mentioned, Flamey shut down early on was a nice little taking point from FaZe. We're going to have all of my stuff finding the low HP, Flamey, and at that point, Edward battles back for a couple of kills. Only good for 1 though. Round 2 should be the eco for Na'Vi, and we'll see the AKs in the 3rd. And I expect FaZe to be preparing for that, as they'll bring out 2 for Masses, an M4, and indeed Guardian on the P250 means he can get the AWP in the next round. As he will hope they take an eco here, but Simple has got Deagle armor, so has Electronic. They've actually taken quite a lot of investment here. Better hope this works out.
Difficult task. Without the bomb plant down, certainly. Their way back through the underpass, likewise toward top mid. Electronic's been holding the angle toward connector at the very least, but they've got no information. Window as to catwalk, as to who waits topside jungle. Very passive from FaZe, you could say as well. 2-3 split. Inside of the sites, they'll concede middle. They know they've got the range.
I just don't want to give any players away here in solo interactions. Has to be crossfires, play defensively. Guardian saving up the AWP actually opens things up. That's one of the few players that had a helmet. He somehow wins the duel against Simple there. And it's a 5 versus 3. This is not looking good for Na'Vi whatsoever. Guardian with second. That's $600 in the bag now. Oh my
what?
God.
The guy with the pistol. The guy that's saved for an AWP. He gets all the kills. That's you couldn't dream of a better situation, really. It's exactly what they want. And not only, as you say, they didn't lose any individual duels. Everyone stayed alive. Guardian has $6,500.
That's exactly what they need.
He's going to go to the op. Now, I always say this. Yeah, okay, you've got the op. You want to bring it out. Certainly Guardian's capable. It is a bit scary that you bring it out against pistols. I think, to me, almost more so than bringing it out against guns, because there's more of a risk factor if you get overwhelmed.
Mirage, though, he can play like the window position. Like, he shouldn't be in too much danger. Even if they take him down, it's unlikely they'll recover the AWP. We'll see, as it's Na'Vi not fully investing. If they'd taken a full eco previously and not had Simple Electronic with Deagle armor, they'd actually have AKs across the board here and have a fighting chance of actually doing something with this round. Unfortunately, spending way too much cash previously has led them here. Still a chance to win it with the Deagle's armor, etc. But overall, FaZe will be very comfortable. As soon as they hear the Deagle's fire off as well, they know that's just going to be pistols against them. So round 3, and Na'Vi looking for an opening pick. It's Flamey looking towards that connector, seeing if anyone will give him an opportunity here. It's going to be Nico. He's fighting from the connector. Takes Flamey down. Confirm they don't have rifles at this point. They can fall right back and hold those crossfires we previously discussed.
Works his way up now with the Deagle. Molotov already dropped down. He knows Ticket Booth's likeliness, but smoke in position. We'll continue on toward the site. Electronic. Inside of the apartments, we'll run into a Dren. I think that'll happen before Olaf even makes contact. Does throw a nade out toward Cat, but battle inside a kitchen. Both players actually subside, they fall off of it. Simple thinks he can get an angle, smoke down single arch. Bit of a problem for Edward to get through the flames. He's inside of the site, easy for Olaf. He could hear him coming the whole time.
The bomb's still towards middle, 20 seconds remaining. That's on the back of Simple. Heads towards the A side. It's actually open right now. It's Rain and CT spawn, but he can steal a plant away here. Absolutely. I don't think Rain will justify the push in. Even if he does, he's greeted with a Desert Eagle bullet from hell. They're trying to wallbang him now, and Simple actually has a chance here.
He just barely got to the gun, but I don't know if he's going to be spotted. He somehow gets away. No peek from Guardian. He thought the push might be coming aggressively. This situation suddenly turned Zeus. He's got an M4 picked up to work with, and he's just toying with Olaf at this point in time. He's holding him off. And Simple's waiting, and Guardian's got to go. AWP for Guardian as well, and Simple's not moving at all. Spotted already, damage done. Simple goes back out. And Olaf gets Zeus, but it's all for naught because Simple's so far removed, and the bomb's ticking so fast. And again, there's what's the problem with the pistols. You bring them out too soon, Op can't do anything once they've lost ground. They now get a free Op on the other side, and there's no money left over to bring it out in the first gun round.
It was looking so good for FaZe there. They got the opening pick, they did low. Got to a couple players down to low HP as well. They funneled him in towards A. It was a desperate attempt there from Simple, but he hits this shot. all of a sudden, it's looking very good for them. And Rain arguably could have just held up defensively, allowed the plant to come in, but he thought that round was locked in at that stage. With 8 seconds remaining, shouldn't have been too much of a hassle for him, but Simple absolutely delivers there and finds them the round. That's unbelievable. They come with Deagle armor, not even a full investment there, and they win the round. And all of a sudden, it swings in favor of Na'Vi as it's FaZe who have to go for an eco here. 1 for Mass from the previous round. CZ's, Nico the only one of armor here. They've got 1 smoke and Rain on the hunt for the opening kill of round 4. Well, that's the Simple we didn't see too much of in the first map, but that 1 kill is all it took. And like you mentioned, Zeus is buying so much time, just toying with the AWPer there. Ran the bomb down way too low, and Guardian had to run at the pistol, and down he went.
Nico this game as well. You mentioned Simple, more of what we expect. He's only got 2 kills, but the impact is resounding. It's Nico that leads on 5, so he's already had a much better start than he had on Inferno.
Oh yes, absolutely. Well, can I do anything with this? You're going for a 3-man stack towards B. You can see 2 players at the back on the bench. I assume it's all of Meister will be up in that position. 50 seconds remain. And the B split is looking likely, to be honest.
The wait as well from Catwalk with the AWP. Flamey joins in. Just Guardian inside a quad boosted up that could foil the plans at B. There is 2 stacked on bench. They're already caught off. Down they go. Again, they've cleared everything. Guardian actually reveals himself, goes out aggressively. They were swinging around. They probably would have spotted him from that position outside of the window anyway, so I guess you might as well take the fight, give it a go, give it a crack. Just Rain remaining.
Yeah, he was never going to win the round there, so might as well go for a kill. Try and pay off some of the debts for the CZ, but either way, it's a 5 versus 1. And we'll tie things up as Na'Vi will go 2-2 here on the T side of Mirage. But plenty of money available for FaZe going forward. It's Rain now just trying to get an extra $300. Not going to happen. It's Edward with a nice shot from the window. That will tie things up here. 5 players survive on the Na'Vi side. Remember, they won technically an eco as well, so they've got tons of money here. Simple has the AWP now and $8,000 in reserve ever since his fantastic performance there in round number 3. Will this be enough? Round 5, Guardian has the AWP. Dren down to the UMP. We do have an Olafmeister AUG, though. That's been a massive talking point about this team. Chad mentioned that 5% of their kills come from the AUGs. You look at teams like Renegades and found massive success playing above expectations with 30% kills in that weapon. It does beg the question as to why they're not embracing it more. Flamey takes down Guardian. Wonderful shot.
Spectacular again. He gets to the corner first. Guardian down. It's the primary AWPer losing out to a man who had it based on spawn position. He's going to hold it a little bit longer. We know he secondaried it on Inferno, so Simple happy to hold on to the AWP. That's been a talking point, as if there's changes after the major. Certainly that depends upon their performance in the next few days, but if James was the one to be coming in and he's on the AWP, does Simple go back to a rifle? So
you can see what he can do.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can see exactly why that may not be a concern for them after all. Smoked off, Nico won't be able to catch anyone transitioning inside of the site. Zeus holds to make sure no one will push through the backside of it, and Edward will cross it. He has to, and he has to go now because the smoke's already down. He needs to get the bomb planted. You've pointed out the obvious at this point in time. It's everyone on the CT side over toward B, and AUG, UMP with a kit. Armor on all 3. We've got this round already decided for us.
I think you might be right there. This is basically as they have the AWP. Might as well just protect that the best they possibly can. It's Nico going up towards the kitchen right now. Na'Vi, trust me, they're up for a hunter. They've got tons of money, 5 players alive, and Electronic more than happy to use this extended time he has. He has another 20 seconds or so to go silently towards the kitchen and see if he can find Nico. Nico will drop a smoke as he doesn't really feel comfortable at this point. That should keep him alive, but we'll see as Na'Vi get closer and closer towards that B bomb site. It doesn't look like they're hunting as much as I might have preempted. Nico, strong position. Zeus takes an 8 to the face, going to boost Simple up though. Will he be able to find the headshots required?
Again, they do want to try and track these guns down. Flamey, second kill on the AWP. He's got the UMP. That's the one they could afford to lose, I guess, if you want to give up one of the 3, if you had to. At this point, though, they're so desperate. That's like giving up one of your 3 children. You need them all.
Well, they will save the AWP and the AUG, but there's just not enough resources to justify the force around it. Na'Vi up 3-2 here on their T side of Mirage. Looks like we've got a tactical timeout now. FaZe to use their first. So what do they want to do? Nico has the AWP right now. Certainly capable of finding multiple frags on it. It's just his sort of caliber that normally makes these rounds possible. If he can be aggressive here, get the first pick and rotate quickly down to the other side of the map, he might be able to dictate the pace of play for Na'Vi, but they're going to be very aware of it. The fact there's a pause right now, they know there's an AWP up, they will be very careful. They might just do a full A execution to make AWPs a little bit more redundant going forward. That would be my call, at least, if you know the AWPs up. Get all the smokes down on A, Molotov those close range positions, flush out the pistols. We'll see if they have a similar mindset. They might just go for a slow default here.
Well, Nico on the op instead, and that, I think, strictly... I was going to say due to spawn. It's not, because Guardian had the fast mid spawn, so he wants it. Taking matters into his own hands.
Not the cleanest kill, but Electronic will take it. That's the AWP down.
That is the op down. He wanted the A main pick. He was expecting perhaps that Na'Vi on the back of this timeout would go quickly, and they have. They have indeed. Electronic to find Olaf. Zeus out light. Rain in the open of the site. Nowhere to hide at all.
You could see they wanted to execute there, but he kept killing everyone. It's like, guys, you might as well just come in now. Forget the grenades. Everyone's dead.
Well, the good news with that is the adaptation in the mid round to call that. You save them for the post plant. Not that they're going to need them. But the fact that, if you overcommit and overthrow them, and let's say it's a gun round right now, there's 3 players left alive, you don't really have much left to defend with. So the fact that they were able to identify that and run in, all is well. Flamey's going to go around. They'll poke in from behind at the vent as well, but Flamey gets the kill himself. It's a Dren to go down. Flamey, by the way, 4 kills. There's not a ton of kills on either side, really. 6 rounds in, no one's higher than 5 kills. No one person sort of standing out or dictating the game at this point.
There's Electronic. First kill wasn't amazing, but the second kill was much cleaner. But still, the fact he takes down the AWP as the first frag, you're going to go off that. You're going to know that there's a good chance you can just completely crush the A side off an opening pick like that. Money finally starting to stabilize here for FaZe. They do invest in this round. It's Guardian with the AWP once again. He currently has 4 kills and 5 deaths. It's Rain, 0 and 4. We need to see show up. Same story for Adren, really. They have 1 kit. They have the utility they need up against Simple, who's just been naded down to 55. That's towards the B side of the map, and they'll go back into their default here. And Flamey may be feeling a little bit too relaxed as he challenges Dry towards the jungle position from Palace, and Guardian's waiting for him. Gets the opening kill.
Zeus waits again underneath of the window. No one to boost him at that position. He's alone. Not entirely inside of middle, that is, but certainly down below. The other 2 up by the boxes. Top of the balcony. He's gone back down underneath, so Electronic won't have to worry so much about a quick peek from his position. Simple, that was fast. Nico was barely around the corner. Electronic spots out Rain, tries to spray it through, but it actually goes against him. So the M4 winning, and that clears out the front of the site. Everyone else wants to work in from connector. Rain, he's got to play backside of triple, and Guardian sets a crossfire with him on the AWP. Reverse firebox, flash mistimed, and Rain might get caught by Zeus jumping, knows he's low. Got the call from Electronic that he'd already tagged him on top of the ladder, so it's all on Guardian yet again.
First advantage FaZe have had in some time here. Guardian does hit the shot, but doesn't quite get the frag, but he denies the plant. That's what they needed. FaZe with a clean round there, courtesy of Guardian. He managed to get the opening kill towards Palace. As I mentioned, maybe Na'Vi way too relaxed at this stage. The fact that they're challenging those sort of choke points is a little bit questionable, but still they're feeding it right now. They feel they've got a massive upper hand. You can't really criticize it too much, but now they'll probably slow it right down and be a little bit more methodical. This kill really did set the tone of the round. The fact that Rain goes down to like 5 HP, manages to get the frag, Guardian denies the bomb. They're going to be feeling more themselves now as we go 4-3, still in favor of Na'Vi, but the double AWP setup for FaZe featuring Guardian and Olofmeister.
Guardian again, quick to the window, didn't win this pick last time. Remember, it was Flamey that had the AWP. Simple this time. Simple goes to Palace with it as well. It's very situational. Palace is really one angle that opens things up. That's toward the top of the stairs. Incredibly potent in holding it, but it does rely on someone being there. Once that's covered off, you can swing it towards CT as well. So usually a rifle that they put in this position for the same effect. Simple wants to fortify and strengthen that cause. Watch out, though, because Rain has pushed up yet again, and if he suspects an AWP, Simple might have problems. Simple will have problems. Rain spots him perfectly.
Slow default once again, shut down by Rain to kick things off. Simple looking to challenge Guardian this time. Remember, he got the kill on Flamey at the rifle before, so he was hoping he'd be tempted to face that position once again, but doesn't even get the chance to show us how smart that play was. 5-on-4, FaZe. Still a lot of work to do here, but for now have the advantage. Dren holding towards B. He'll be joined by olofmeister. Remember, he's got that secondary AWP posted up like a turret. Not challenging the more direct angle, but he's got a nice opportunity to get a kill, drop off safely. He's not fully committed to the position.
Press upon the A site still. Nico waits, covers it off. Don't forget that Rain wants to slide back out. Nico, he's got Guardian to support him. Easy collection. Smoke down. They were standing in it. Fantastic shot, though, from Electronic, at least to get back in. Flamey, he overlooked it. He looked under the shadow. He knew that Rain was somewhere nearby, but didn't guess correctly, and it is FaZe to pull back 2 in a row, 4-4. And Guns starting to whittle away. Oh, I'd take that back.
They got plenty.
Yeah, I was going to say, Navi's got way more money than I thought at this point because they're so effective in the previous rounds.
It stemmed off their victory in the eco round where they didn't fully invest. They won that round with like 3 players surviving, and their money is just swelled from there. Great stuff from Guardian, though. He is such a fantastic Mirage player. Electronic is too, but Guardian had already done the damage at that stage. As the double setup still rings true, we go into round number 9 here. Still anyone's map, absolutely. It's not necessarily a biased map for any half, but it is more preferred to be on the CT side and post more rounds there. And Simple this time, not challenging towards Palace, just waiting to see if anyone wants to use the one-way towards that connector. Bit of aggression here from Nico, but he is alone. He managed to take down one before, and he's done it again. That's going to be Simple dropping. Will there be a trade? There absolutely will be. Nice shot comes in from Edward.
Simple's going to be really wanting to be babysat soon if he keeps holding these angles. That's twice that he's been pre-scoped and someone snuck in beside him and just kind of clean and easy shot.
That doesn't actually help out FaZe too much, so yes, they get the opening kill, but it goes down to a 4-on-4 with no exit strategy. You've got to question what the get-out-of-jail card was there. It's Electronic, lovely movement, but it's Rain that still lands the headshot.
Zeus waits inside a connector again. Rain watches off. Same position Nico was in last time. Remember, Guardian complemented it. He is in a similar position, but the problem is they've got a smoke back triple. So he's really got to get up on top of Ticket if he wants any chance. And not only that, they'll isolate Rain. So there would be a gap on the far side of it, but it blooms perfectly. And Zeus is holding. Rain does the smart thing and backs away from it. No more radar to give away. Potentially that someone's on the other side.
True, good point. 30 seconds though. Guardian doesn't need anything like a radar. He's got that scope and it seems to be hitting absolutely everything right now. Speaking of which, Na'Vi doing a great job here. olofmeister looking to deny the plant, can't do it, but gets the frag. It's a 2 versus 2. Zeus and Flamey defend off Guardian and olofmeister. They have a kit and smoke.
Still trying to find the shot on A main. They've overlooked the fact that Zeus came back out again on the AWP. He's got the AWP rolling in his hands. Maybe that's the call. Guardian can't hit the headshot. Does spot Flamey, though, working in toward Tetris, but a quick switch catches them out, and Na'Vi pull it back.
Zeus stepping up when they need him, absolutely. Wins a great duel to open things up at the AK, picks up the AWP, takes down that connector player, and all of a sudden it's looking very good. He dropped the incendiary on top of the bomb as well. He guaranteed that round victory there.
This is a team game from Na'Vi.
Yep.
6 kills for Edward, 5 for Simple, 6 Electronic, 5 for Flamey, 5 for Zeus, all of them together.
Well, Simple said coming into this one, he feels like if he dies early in the round, his teammates will not necessarily convert the round to a victory, but so far he's gone down and they're actually managing to pick up the pieces and they're pretty formidable. It's 5-4 on the T side in favor of Na'Vi now, and they've broken FaZe to another eco. They're going Deagles and P250s. This is the map pick of Na'Vi. If you are just joining us, you've missed one hell of a series so far. Inferno went the distance. That was the pick of FaZe Clan, but Na'Vi narrowly picked it up towards the end. They're 1-0 up here, and they can close out the series' first quarterfinal of the day and this second map and send FaZe packing. So 3 Deagles. Rain gets some Kevlar. He had a bit more money than his teammates. Still with 4,100 though, so plenty of cash. It's a double orb setup. The lack of orgs has been a massive talking point for FaZe so far. Dren barely made a scratch on the first half here. He's a 1-on-5. But still plenty of rounds to play.
Flash inside of the site as well. There's Deagle to hold it off. Double push toward Cat. Rain and Olaf. Dren hasn't had much action. His score is 1, 3, and 5. It's not really representative of his game because he just hasn't been able to do much at B, and he's been rotating into lost causes far too many times. So we'll see if he can get rolling if they do finally head that way. Back toward mid, stack out. No one to, so far, at least evaluate the A site. Push through and get the information. Don't be surprised that if Olaf gets 1 or 2 kills, if he can drop that bomb at Catwalk, that they'll swarm. Edward's going to go in, clear it all the way, but spots him up. Deagle, not going to have the surprise element. Just might get the headshot angle. Edward has better ideas and better intentions. And now we're seeing Flamey as well head back over toward A. No further action inside mid. They're going to take their time, 36 seconds. And over toward A, indeed, it will go.
Well, the A site completely open, no problem there. It's going to be Na'Vi picking this round up, and it doesn't look like we'll get any kills going at all for FaZe. Rain might be better off to saving the Deagle armor at this point. They can kind of feel this round slipped apart now as they've got 15 seconds remaining. No one's there. And it's up to Electronic to mow them down. Not as crisp as you'd like to see, but he still gets the first. Edward will get the second. And it's Rain and the Dread now just holding on to Deagles.
Edward's still just waiting it out. Make sure no one's going to sneak through behind. Guns all up at this point in time. Zeus gets Rain, so more kills for him. Should be able to close it as well. Adren's going to make that a little more difficult. Gets behind the pillar, peeks back out. There's one of the Deagle. There's some skill form spots as well that they're in the window, but he's just looking for any kill he can find at this point. Edward low enough.
Good
He
shots.
finds Simple. This will get him going. Again, he hasn't had much action on B. Now Adren will. And the damage reveals the cost, because he'll get a gun. No, he won't. Flamey's got him instead. I thought it would certainly make matters worse on the Na'Vi economy, which is, again, still swelling, and help FaZe, but he's gets caught off in the end.
Yeah, he manages to get himself $900 return on that one, but he spent $700 on the Deagle. So yes, it will get him going individually for like, okay, I've still got it. I'm still feeling it. But doesn't make a massive impact on the game. It's getting to the latter stages now. But still, you've managed to get a couple of players under 3K. But it's Flamey with $9,000. That's a problem. But we'll see if they can convert this now. A double AWP setup again. It's really where Na'Vi wants to position themselves. Dren pulls out the AWP as Olaf Meister will actually be towards short this time, not turreting up and towards that B apartment position. Guardian taken down to 40 HP at the start of the round, not the start they were looking for.
Edward already doing what he can to control mid. And this is the difference. We talked about it. Simple's going to want a babysitter on the rifle if he's pre-scoping these angles. Last time they didn't put anyone at boxes. They left the second rifle behind Simple to watch the angle. Unfortunately, it was Nico that got up in front of them, caught them off. Rifle couldn't do anything to trade it. By putting Edward further out of the boxes, no one's getting up mid.
CTs have one smoke remaining. We haven't got to the 1 minute mark yet. A couple of flashbangs, one incendiary, but it's all on the utility belt of Olaf Meister.
And this is actually a talking point as well, because if they're not going to play the AUGs, utility's still required. You can't hold the angles in the same way. That was something Liquid said in an interview I did with them earlier at the start of the last week. Basically said it's allowing CTs to take duels to hold angles that you formerly couldn't. Well, if you're not going to have utility and you don't have that gun, you're back to square one.
Well, it's a 4-on-4 for now. 40 seconds remain. There's almost nothing to defend here, and Olaf Meister misses a key shot that gives up his position, but it might funnel them towards A. Nico does step in and take Simple down, at least keeping him on a leash, but now this is where it becomes really testing for them. He hits the shot, but it's not going to be enough.
And still try for more. Bomb down, he might have to consider giving it up on the AWP. He still couldn't collect Flamey as he jumped back across. Third time a charm?
Not quite.
He wants to clip his wings, but he can't quite get there. It's Flamey. That's on 23, just waiting to hold it. Molotov down, flanks on. This is still a possibility for FaZe. Swarming on the site. The HP's leveled out. Rain gets one. Traded off. Edward inside. Rain's going to swing it back. He finds all three. And is there time? There certainly is. He'll find the defuse as well.
Good stuff there by FaZe. It was such a touch and go round. They needed one of those to go in their favor, though. It's Rain that delivers the goods, though. 3 kills in the retake. Very calm, pushing through the smoke. Once the Molotov was placed behind him as well. They didn't anticipate that sort of maneuver. He wins the round, and a couple of them survive as well. So it's 6-5. This is the play from Rain. Just fantastic position. That was a low HP Electronic there, converted to a third. He's the only player for Kit as well, so it actually worked out perfectly for Rain towards the end of that one. They still need to find one more round to break the economy and tie things up. This is where they can do it, though. Round 12. Guardian looks towards middle once again. As it's another B-focused attack from Na'Vi. You can see 3 players in towards the apartments right now. Edward just deployed the Molotov towards the van. So Olaf Meister still the AWP, same position as last round, but will he actually detect the player in the smoke? He could sneak through.
Poison within and everything still. It's Olaf that gets away. I think he might have gone down if he stayed even a second longer because the smoke that was slowly dissolving as Electronic at least gets range, starts things off again for Na'Vi. Get broken down in the economic situation. This round would be the first in which they would have to go back to a save. Edward works mid. He's got some help. He's got Flamey down below and Guardians rotated all the way back around towards CT, rightfully so. Nico's got a main covered off. Guardian at this point knows there's been some activity inside of middle, but needs to also be aware of Palace eventually. And Zeus goes that way. He's actually past Nico, but Nico could catch off quite a few.
He really could. There's a low HP player coming first. He's definitely got that frag, but can he get more than one? As soon as he gets Electronic, there's enough space for them to trade here, but they're going to face together. They're actually leaving the low HP player to go in last. That's so smart. So that actually works out really well for them.
It did, except that I thought it was because they were going to check it. It's because they were trying to slow down and not make noise to main. They go with their back turn. Edward gave himself up. Guardians taking it into his own hands. Electronic again, the one to put him back down. Secondary Opera winning out, but this time 2 for Guardian. And Bomb still gets planted. 18 HP, the AWP will hold Adren. Flamey was going to push through. He could have easily been inside of the window room already.
They've got no idea. Olaf, does he check it? It's about this time you start to have your doubts, but Flamey's got the kill. And it's going to be Adren in a 2 versus 1. He's got 4 kills to his name so far, can't get any more. And Na'Vi have reset FaZe once again. This is significant, a massive round for them to pick up. As soon as FaZe get back on their feet after losing a few in a row, they win a single round and then lose all 5 players in the subsequent. They now have to take an eco here or force buy in with PT50 CZ. They're actually going for it. They are going to force buy here. And Guardian keeps having these great moments, but it's not enough to win rounds. Frustration starting to set in as they do go for the full investment here. All 5 players, upgraded pistols, all the utility they need, and indeed armor. Olaf Meister opting for the kits. They don't win this round. It's going to be a landslide scoreline for Na'Vi on the T side once again.
Rain's going to push it out. Pistol in hands. Single
play.
Well, they have to. And Flamey at this point. He's inside of Palace. Bomb's a top mid. He could try and just connect. Goes down immediately. Okay, fair enough. They get a gun. It's a bit of a problem for them. But if he even gets a single kill, he starts to reveal the fact that there's 3 over there. It's almost a bit tense in these situations when you have the guns and you've gone this far into the round. You've also got the obvious position in middle that you want to ascertain, and then you still haven't got any information from it. What really waits on the other side? Zeus will go slow enough. It is going to go back over. It's not a full stack, but back over toward A. It's an aggressive position. It's a forward position with the pistols. Was his shin bone spotted? Doesn't matter. Smoke down, that confirms he's there. They'll back off of this. Zeus slides in. The smoke soon to fade. Everything hidden is suddenly revealed. They go through. Electronic finding 1, and plus the assist. Nico still holding inside of the site, though. He's the one that's not spotted. But Simple gets him dinked up. Even still, he found the quick scope.
Yeah, fantastic work by him. This was against Pistols, but still a massive moment in the game. Remember, FaZe are fully invested to this with second stage loss bonus coming up. They've just lost a half of another full eco on the agenda. It's Olaf Meister and Adren with Deagles and CZs. At this point, Matt just trying to steal away an AK. That's as good as it can possibly get at this point in time. And Flamey doesn't have to go hunting for these kills. They're not really worth that much to him, but still finding absolutely everything. Damage done towards Olaf. He won't be surviving this one as they encroach on his position now. He is just waiting to go down. Gets a nice headshot. That's towards Zeus. He won't be able to recover the rifle, however, as he holds on. Can he have another impressive state of affairs like Adren did, who got 3 kills in a similar situation, just the 1. And it will be 8-5 with pretty much a full eco for FaZe up next. This is the Na'Vi map pick. You can see after losing the pistol as well, they're looking very comfortable.
Absolutely. We said the same, though, about FaZe in the first map when they were also on the T side, so I'm not going to get too far ahead of it. We know anything is possible. But yeah, this could be FaZe bowing out in a quarterfinal. A top 4 for Na'Vi. Zeus said, Majors, just another event. Well, they're proving otherwise so far. We also saw them play rather poorly just 2 weeks ago at the Shape Up event we talked about in London, and there was some high-flying emotions between the team that made me concerned. Every time out, Electronic was almost yelling over Zeus, and I thought this is downward spiral.
Yeah, even when they were winning games, there was arguments taking place after the match. It was very odd to watch, but this is a different team now. They're always going to be deadly in majors. They can have some horrible run of form months before the event, but always seem to make it to the playoffs, always look dangerous, and this is no different. They're currently a map up against FaZe Clan, who are on full eco and just desperately stacking the A bomb site. B is open, and Na'Vi, guess where they're heading? Straight in towards that B bomb site. Round guaranteed. It's going to be 9-5.
1 round to go to get a 6th for FaZe. That's all they're going to have to work with. Zeus just going back over. Stack has not worked out once, and you know what? That's perfect. That means Na'Vi's doing exactly what they should, that they've been able to dissect them, they've been able to figure out exactly how they're playing them. So far, we haven't had Henry G tilt off the face of the earth, essentially.
We haven't, have we? It's all been quite slow and actually pretty impressive from Na'Vi. Like the rounds they've lost are just because FaZe have been very, very good. I have to say, Na'Vi have kind of tightened everything up. They're looking like a solid team that aren't making many mistakes, and usually that is the exact opposite of Na'Vi games when we're in this stage of the tournament. Absolutely disastrous things occur, and fair play to them. This is looking clean, and all the players are turning up. We get into the round number 15 here. What a massive advantage they have. I think they're going to buy double AWP just for the opening picks here and fall back and have AKs and spawn. But FaZe, they don't have the comfort of a Guardian AWP, and he's got so many kills where they haven't converted the round. He's got picked up 2 or 3, and it still slips away. And we'll get into it. Final round of the first half. FaZe need this. They cannot allow double digits to go against them on their CT half as the fast mid control comes in, and FaZe, they can't really do anything about that. They don't have the firepower or the utility to really challenge that with significant numbers. 1 kit's available. If Olof goes down and the bomb's on the other side of the map, that could be problematic.
Crossfire set in mid, again, just trying to figure out exactly where they are on the other side. No smoke down, a Guardian crosses over connector, fortunate not to have been spotted. Log for Olaf. Trying to make amends with lost ways. Trying to bring it out now in desperation. Nico again is pushed all the way through. This time by going Palace, he'll be quite certain no one's going to slip in behind him. Op down and spawn. So he'll spot that and realize that they've elected not to go with the double all the way through the rounds. Which is pretty standard on the T side. Interestingly, he could have picked that up and brought it over to the CTs, who needed it desperately, but not really when he's in that position. He's gone all the way to the top horseshoe. They're going to get around him on catwalk, but if Olaf even slows them down slightly, he'll be all over them. That's not going to happen. Boost for Electronic. They're still waiting for the peak. Nico can still arrive. Guardian and Adren slow them down. He's gotten in position, but he had his knife out.
No!
He had his knife out. He just barely got there in time. Edwards dropped, but Electronic catches Nico falling off the angle. He'd revealed too much. We're back into a 2-on-2. Adren, finally they go to B, and we get into his victimhood because he's been picked on enough. He's had enough. And Simple finally puts him down. It's he versus Guardian. Rivals and foes, and who can mark the hour? This soul-sick friendship died because they go one-on-one to try and close out the half. Simple's tagged onto 6 HP, and Guardian, he's got the on. He's just barely got it in time. It had to be a kill. It is for Guardian.
It comes right down to the 1 versus 1. Simple, not playing for plants there. He wanted blood. It goes 9-6 a half, but FaZe steal away the very final round there. It certainly set the scene for the second, but you're going to have to wait for this quick break. Do not go anywhere.
Emotions on the keypad, overwhelm. Feelings best left sacrificed for a greater cause, and that's going to be the issue for FaZe. They've got to rein in the emotional team that they are. Set strong personalities because they once again find themselves down 9-6 this time. And if they lose this map, the major's over.
It absolutely is. They'll swap over to the T side. They're going to have one smoke, actually two of them, and the Molotov. So a tactical execution here towards the A side of the map. Watch out for the Molotov towards the shadow position. All sandwich, smoke and CT spawn, and they might just go for the steps jungle combo. Either way, 3 players in Palace. Here comes a flashbang as they make themselves known on the A side. But look who's waiting for them. It's Mr. Simple, and he'll spot a few coming out of the apartments, but he's gone down very, very quickly.
Gone. Zeus trying to recover, wants to get back in, flash already out. He's firing off all his ammo. He's stuck in a corner. They're not going to pursue him. Just contain, just hold him because Rain's already got Edward. Not like anyone else was going to try and attack back, but Electronic eventually gets into a position of power. Or is that just an illusion because he's still covered off to try and work back in the site, and Nico, he seems to have a plan. He wants to go all the way around, get in behind Rain. He's got Electronic already, and Flamey's just waiting. Nico, his mind's not a well. It won't run dry. He goes all the way around. He's always got an idea every single time.
Well, that's both pistols now going in favor of FaZe. The scoreline, though, is still in favor of Na'Vi. 9-7. And I assume they'll take the eco here, but they've got a couple of deagles. Electronics are fully invested again. So this seems to be a common approach for them. They will go for 2 players fully invested, and the other few of them not. But actually, as I say that, as it starts to break down, it looks like they are going for everyone, bursting up Deagle armor, apart from Zeus, who's got the CZ. They've got a few smokes here, and we'll see if it works out for them. I wouldn't necessarily think this would be the best approach, considering they can get rifles in the third, but still, that first gun round will have to be a little bit delayed. That's if they don't win this round, of course. Edwards holding towards CPL. 3 players in middle. And then we have, of course, Ellof, Meister, and Adren watching for the pushes towards A and B, respectively.
There are encouraging similarities for FaZe from the first game. It was they that lost both pistols but had the lead at half. This time, they've won both pistols but don't have the lead at half.
So what does that mean?
Well, are they going to win as Na'Vi did?
I think you might be onto something. It feels like it's going to be one of those games where FaZe can find a 3-0 here, start knocking on the door of 9-9, and then show us what they're capable of on this map. So far, so good in this round, however. It's going to be a 5 versus 4, but Electronic deals with that. Brings it right back to a 4-4. As the Deagles, which are very powerful on Mirage, showing us they can find the headshots required. It's Simple is usually so good at that gun. Haven't seen massive amounts of Deagle damage done by him today. They head back towards B. And Ren has to join him. He's got the MAC-10. There is actually 3 players on the CT side towards the B bomb side. With 30 seconds remaining, they can't really justify falling back. They're hoping Adren's 1 Molotov towards jungle might be enough to force a rotation here, but it's not going to happen. He throws an HE now, but without much more than that, I don't think they'll rotate off this B side. They might as well stick to their guns here, and here comes the commitment.
Commitment with 3. Olaf already turning around. Flamey's caught him off. This is working out. It didn't work at all to try and sell the fake. Edwards got it. Bomb goes down.
Great play from Na'Vi, but FaZe really ran out of time at that point. They get the opening kill. They had mid-control, but they just waited too long. Another pick came in from Electronic. All of a sudden, they're forced to go to that B site, and instead of us having everyone there, they're sending a really, not a very persuasive attempt towards the A with the fake. It's 1 Molotov and an HE and a player running with a MAC-10. Anyone who's watching FCS or played against it will know that that's not going to necessarily be a full commitment there, and actually you're just removing numbers from that B side, which could have got you a trade, could have thrown that MAC-10 in first, and unfortunately for FaZe, it's Na'Vi to steal the round away, and they're the ones in the force by now.
That's the first unconverted pistol so far in this series, just to note.
Yes. What a call it was as well, to force up Deagles here, go for a little B stack, and actually funnel them in there with some shots from Electronic. Really impressive stuff there.
Oh, Nico's going to return it. Flamey down. Olaf's with him as well. If they can control the site, if they can get in fast enough, they'll absolutely send the ball in that direction. Simple, good response to that, however. Knows that if that's a single kill and they're playing picks, they're probably going to rotate somewhere by middle. Goes up, finds 1, takes down Adren, and things start to fall apart yet again. It's all under Rain. It's a kill already. He's got the bomb picked up and an AK to work with. Head armor, he's pretty much in the round. He's got a smoke as well, but it's a 1-on-3. So really, not much he can ask for, I'm afraid.
So he has a smoke, he has the bomb, and just under a minute remaining. Rain's certainly capable of winning these sort of rounds. He just doesn't have much at all at his disposal. He had a bit more than one smoke, maybe a couple of flashes, could smoke out the end of the apartments, flash out, see what he can do. I assume he'll do that anyway. He's going to go towards the end of the palace position, probably smoke towards the balcony itself, try and jump out, bait out some shots and see what he can do. That's about as good as it gets.
Rain working it back into position as well. Elbow not yet showing. Headshot certainly is! Oh my god, I thought he could line up the second. There was time enough for the bomb plant as well if he did.
Good try. Managed to get a lovely shot there. Went for the surprise approach. Would have had the smoke for post plant. Had that have gone in more in his favor, but didn't work out. Now FaZe surely are eco after the force buy. Didn't really yield too much, and they got the opening pick for Nico, but then Zeus managed to bring it back to the 4-on-4, pushing him towards A, and that's where Simple already had top and middle. Electronics hitting absolutely everything right now. It's going into round number 19. They don't bring much at all to the table. A P250 and one flash. It looks like it might just be a B rush here. 4 players making their way towards the B apartments now. But you can see CT's actually getting some mid-control here with the grenades. It does leave one player alone on the B side. That is going to be Zeus, but luckily for him, no rush just yet. Uses the Molotov at the start, follows up with a smoke, and he's got control and some backup now.
Will back away ever so slightly at this point in time. Nico's the only one away from the troops. He's inside of middle. Can they run down Zeus and Flamey? Hold at the truck. M4 in hand for Flamey. Zeus waiting to be baited in. They're forced forward, or at least they are now by the rain. As he stands up, forward to the flames, but blood is thicker than water, and they'll drown quicker than even we expected as they ran in toward the site. Zeus setting the crossfire, it's just Nico remaining. And at this point, his army has depleted. I think the round will as well. It's going to be 12-7 in favor of Na'Vi. Even the flank, Electronic gets the kill.
Trialing times now for FaZe Clan. They will not have the orb going to the next gun round here. Has to be rifles across the board. The scoreline is 12-7 in favor of Na'Vi on the CT side of Mirage. Their map pick, they already picked up phases of Inferno. They have all of the advantages going into this first gun round here. And we'll see whether their cash flow will be affected. Do they want to upgrade a couple of the SMGs they have from the previous rounds? Time will tell. Looks like they're focusing more on the big picture stuff here as Electronic will hold on to the MP9 and Zeus with the UMP. Not a huge deal. He's playing the B bomb, so that's fine. And Flamey's actually going right up there. He wants to make an aggressive play. You can see the incendiary just behind the smoke as well to stop any T's pushing forward and trying to fight back, or a flashbang here. So Flamey has mid-control. How long can he really hold it for? Great damage towards Guardian. He really is a nuisance right now.
Gotta be honest though, so too is Flamey. He's just being an absolute pest to lock them in.
How do you even run your default now? You've lost a player, they keep smoking towards top and middle, you're isolated in your own spawn. That is a nightmare. And that's the kind of plays they had to make. Remember, they came into this with the MP9 and the UMP. That's why Flamey says, let me try and make a play towards middle. If I get one kill, it's a 5-on-4. And he is still hungry for a bit more here as he holds towards underpass. Does he keep going?
He's going to.
That's insane.
This guy's got a match today. He's on for one. Oh, Nico, good response. I thought he got both because Nico was actually in the middle of the quick switch just prior. Yeah, it's nice to see some confidence from Flamey.
He wins that duel. Like the MP9 is such an underrated weapon, I think. At those sort of close to mid-range duels, it actually is so deadly with the fast rate of fire. Electronic handles it perfectly, gets an AK, and now it's a 4-on-2.
This precision from Na'Vi today, this tactical play, no one's safe. Astralis and Liquid, everyone's looking at them, but that puts pressure on them, and let's see how they deal with it. I mean, sure, Astralis is no stranger to pressure, but is this the major where they just come up shy? Is this where Liquid trumps them? If Liquid themselves get caught off by MIBR, by FaZe, by Na'Vi, looks like Na'Vi's taking care of FaZe for them, but this is open. This is wide open. Electronic takes out Nico Rain. He gets the trade, but again, it's he that finds himself alone. 10 seconds, has to commit to the bomb plant, and that is a rather welcome sign for Edward. He'll walk in and deny.
They really need that plant to go down. They're a 4th state loss bonus here. If they got the plant there, Matt, they'd actually have a buy here. They'd have enough for at least 5 rifles. Unfortunately, that's really not the case right now. They're 13-7 down. They're averaging $3,000 per player. Let's just break that round down, though. You can throw that smoke pretty early on the CT side POV, but Flamey gets up there. He finds himself comfortable in the mid boxes, doubles down the smoke, flashes through, takes down Guardian, then has the audacity to keep pushing and finding frag after frag. He gets 2 in total, dinked Nico in the process. process as well. And at that point, Electronic has palace control. This couldn't be going any better. It's the same setup here. Nico's burning at the start. You can see why that incendiary is thrown to stop them having any sort of vision as Simple takes down Rain.
Flamey comes back around. Try and wait out with the AUG inside of the site. Just fire at the window, why not? Take all chances. Simple takes some damage, but tries to return it in the other direction onto Nico, who now falls all the way back around and goes toward T-spawn. Just 3 rounds to go for Na'Vi, and they've made quick work of FaZe. Booked themselves a date for Saturday. Remember, 2 quarterfinals, one side of the bracket today. The other side of the bracket, both quarterfinals play tomorrow. Nico takes down Edward. Good deagle shot, at least gets one back in their favor, but one is not enough, and certainly not when Flamey goes immediately back before Olaf can do anything up against Simple. It's now 2 to go for Na'Vi.
It's going to have to be one of those heroic comebacks here from FaZe. 14-7 on the T side of Mirage. They've waited for this moment, though. Their finances have been absolutely wrecked throughout this campaign on Mirage. Remember, FaZe, Matt, have won both pistols here. That is actually quite shocking. That was one of the talking points the analysts coming into this game. They couldn't actually convert those pistol victories to 3-0s, not even 2-0s. Na'Vi keep forcing into it and winning the rounds, and it's detrimental, of course it is. As they'll have a full bite here at least. What is the setup? It looks like mid-control's coming in. Simple has a gap in that smoke. Can he actually use it, though? Doesn't do too much damage. His Guardian takes a nade at the very start. They're aware of the potential of that gap now. Simple certainly had a kill available to him. And look at this, still with the UMP. Zeus has got so much cash available to him going forward. He's had that UMP for ages. He gets the opening pick as well. Is he going to upgrade to an AK? He absolutely is. What a legendary play from him. Gets in there with the UMP, takes down their initial kill, and now this is looking very good for 15-7 with a map in the back. FaZe are looking very flat on their T side now. Pretty basic approach.
It's very... Flamey's got to be careful here. It's very basic, but he gets caught off by Nico. They have a basic problem, and that's called the B site.
That could be it.
Edward is pushed so far forward, though. You're right, Guardian is going to have a tremendous trouble. Tumultuous task. Any other alliteration you want to throw onto it, Henry?
Not right now, but I'll think of one perhaps if we get past this round.
Well, let's see how the op holds. He's fast. He's got it. He's covered it off. Edward got impatient. And it's now a 4-on-4. That will favor the execution. But what execution? It's actually a rotation. It's going to be all for naught. This will all go back over toward the A site. They realize now, as they spot Nico, Simple happened to see it through connector, that they were heading down catwalk. So Flamey's got to rush over there. Thankfully for his sake, it was Guardian that had the bomb. That's why they started the rotate in the first place. And he'll be there before it. Rain drops immediately. Adren, he's back at T-spawn. Guardian's not sure where to go. He knows he's lost the B site. And Zeus knows he's won the round. He knows exactly what's happening.
Oh, he rubs it in his face. That's unbelievable. He knows the round is over. It's good to see a bit of showboating in CSGO. Don't get that too often. But he knows the round is won. And that's going to really frustrate FaZe now. They really haven't shown up in this quarterfinal. Remember, they had a 10-5 lead in the first half of Inferno on their T side. Somehow lose that map. Somehow. And now find themselves 15-7 down on Mirage. They haven't even got going on their T side yet. But Zeus, what a performance he's had. Simple, pretty easy shot by his standards towards short, but that's when the round is over. The reason he's firing like that is just to annoy his opposition, knowing he's already won the round. Even if Zeus dies there, there's no way to plant the bomb. Timeout for FaZe. They need to be perfect at this point. It's going to have to be some speech from Yanko now. 8 in a row, just to take us to overtime. Na'Vi on the precipice of a semi-final once again.
That's the truth of it. I mean, let's not forget, they were in the final in London. They've been in the final in Cologne. They've been in the final in Columbus? How many times have they been in finals? How far do they always go in these majors?
They never pick up the trophy, though. Zeus has done it with Gambit, but he has not done it under the Na'Vi banner. But right now, I'm thinking there's a chance they could actually do this. This is looking like a much better Na'Vi, a confident one. There's no massive blunders being presented. It's actually looking like a decent little team. Everything's working out for them, and now Olofmeister, he's going to have to make this work. The MAC-10 rushing towards B. Nice movement, actually gets himself into a position we might be able to be deadly here, but it's Zeus again, opening things up, 5-on-4. Could this be the final round?
It might be the end for FaZe. Another run denied, this time in a quarterfinal. Legendary status, at least held on to, but that's not enough. That's not enough for the ambition of this team, and what for Adren, who's come in, and I have to say, it's at the bottom of the leaderboard this time. Does the contract get renewed? Does it get extended?
I'm not sure.
So many questions. Yanko as well, who swapped over MIPR, now FaZe, 2 top teams. Has he had enough time to implement himself, or is time not excuse enough?
Here we go then, the last chance for FaZe. 5 on 4, they make their way in. It's a tag already. Rain goes down to 21 HP. They've got nothing left to really work with here. A couple of flashbangs and a Molotov, and Zeus keeps finding kill after kill. 5 on 3 now, it's up to Guardian. I think we might be done here. They've got to tap out. There's nothing left as 1 player remains, and there it is. It's 2-0. Na'Vi booked himself a place in the semi-final in convincing fashion as well. What a great performance from them. And FaZe, an underwhelming one, as they will crash out in the quarterfinals. They expected so much more here, Map.
And they might have been relying on the map choice. They knew Mirage was going to come in. No excuses. They just did not step up. It should never be that one-sided. But if Inferno backfired, they certainly were up against it, and it shows. Na'Vi, though, again, I'm with you. They could do this. That was an incredible performance compared to what we've seen from them over the last 3 weeks.
And the thing is as well, it's not like we're saying, oh, it's all about the simple and flamey right now. You look at the scoreboard right now, everyone's in tandem. There's Electronic at the top and everyone else between 16 and 18 frags. That's what you need to be a world-class team. Everyone performing at a similar level, not just a couple of individuals that might be able to steal away a game for you.
That's absolutely true. Whole team from Na'Vi applied. You mentioned Simple's problems with going down early. They rectified many. We're going to rectify a lot of these issues by talking to 3 men who know a lot more about the game than we do. We'll send it over to the analysts.
What a performance. Thank you so much, Sadakist and Henry G there, the voices of that stomping. My goodness, we saw it start on Inferno, of course. It was FaZe who chose to take it there in a full 29 rounds of play. The same can't be said for Mirage. Na'Vi making it clear why they chose to take it there. 16-7, a thrashing, and just a measly singular T round from FaZe Clan. Completely unable to get off of the starting marks. We actually have an opportunity to hear from the victorious over on the stage.
Simple, you told me before that match that your plan was to stick with the team. How did it feel to make beautiful CS with them today?
Feels really great because we played really great individually. I mean, and our team playing was on point, so